Welcome to Neighborhood Chefs. I'm Ariana, and today we begin our show by introducing you to Eric Stewart and his roast pork chops and 6-cheese au gratin dish. Let's take a look. Today we are here with Beef Stew. So, Beef Stew, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a retired corrections officer who used to indulge in a lot of cooking back in the old days. I'm like the third oldest of 10 children, and I was the one at home that didn't want to go to church. So my mother would make me fix food while they're at church. Okay. So one day I had to hook up some chicken wings, and that's how I got started.
Nice, cool. So what are you making for us today?
Well, we're going to start out first of all with 5 cheese potatoes au gratin. We're going to also have some carrots, which I improvised instead of potatoes, sweet potatoes. I make honey cumin carrots, and they're going to be roasted. And I'm going to also do some rosemary roasted pork chops for you. That's been brined, and specifically what a brine is, it's a number of spices that are combined with some sugar and some water. I use pineapple juice and apple juice because it imparts a better flavor. Let it sit for at least 2 or 3 hours, but I do it overnight. So you really got a flavorful product once you start the cooking. So what we're going to do here, we're going to first of all start out with these onions, which is going to go with the potatoes. And we're going to just chop them up and let them caramelize slowly. So we'll get started with that. And yeah, you know, cooking was always something I liked. So 10 kids, you know, everybody was always eating. You know, sticking their head in the refrigerator, stealing food from whoever it belonged to. We didn't really care. So here we have the carrots. And it's a bit shocking. People say carrots, like, you know, sweet and sugar and syrupy, and, you know, it's like a sweet potato. It's got as much sugar in it as a sweet potato does. People just don't think to use it. Put a ginger in there. Doesn't take much. You smell it right away. See, people stick their head in the pot and they inhale. You inhale all the vapors from the water, you burn your nose or steam your eyes out. Push it towards you. You can smell it. It's nice and pungent. Okay, here we have some coriander. It's an Indian spice. It has its own name. You gotta learn how to use it because it's very pungent also. And we have cumin. Cumin is another Indian spice used in Trinidadian cooking. A lot of Caribbean cooking, they use these spices. So you put them in with your carrots. Always push everything away from you, so if it splatters, it's going in the other way. There's no neatness in the kitchen, believe me. Not when it comes to doing things like this. Either you do it, get splattered, or get used to it. So we're going to let those just do their thing. Yeah, they're getting there. Bechamel is coming. Now what I did was, ahead of time, I boiled some potatoes. So we're gonna they're easier to cut this way. If you cook them all the way through and you try to do this, you'd wind up with mashed potatoes. That's not what you want. You want nice, firm, uniform discs So when you lay them in the pan, they all hold up. And they'll continue to cook once you put them in the oven. This is gonna, if you like macaroni and cheese, it's in the same neighborhood. It's a starch, and you use the same method as making macaroni and cheese. I, for one, like to make a sauce when I pour it over my macaroni or either potatoes. I don't know, for some reason I never really liked cutting up cheese and putting it in the pan. I like it to be a sauce so it gets up in there. Okay, our bechamel is there. It's a simple white sauce. What we're going to do here is we're going to make a little bed first. We'll put a little bit in there. Because if I didn't do this, they'll probably stick.
Oh, okay.
Let's turn that off because we don't need it. And we'll just give it a little shake. Okay. Now we're going to take these discs and we're just going to lay them out.
That looks good.
Yeah, just lay them out. And me, I like to be in the kitchen, but I don't like to be in the kitchen long. So, I work fast. And that's another thing you learn when you get into this business. If you're not fast, you can't last. And it's one of the things that people frown upon, a slow-moving person. I think we can take these out now. I have a pair of tongs around somewhere. So you can dye it there. These can go a little further if you want, but they're going to continue to cook. The only difference is when you keep them on the stove longer, they'll continue to brown. That's the sugar within it. They'll get sweeter. But this is no problem. This is still good. You're going to lay these out a little bit. Spread them out evenly. No one wants a mouthful of onions, so make sure you spread them out. I remember one time I was eating some food and someone had used garlic and they chopped it up, but they didn't do a good job of chopping it up. That's the worst taste in the world. A huge piece of garlic. Unless it's been browned in the oven, you don't want it. So you lay your onions out. You return to your sauce again. Layer it over it. And it looks like it's sloppy, but once it's cooked, everything evens out.
Great.
Thank you. It'll all even out. Okay, let's get some more potatoes out. And once the sauce starts to cover everything up, it starts to look great. You eat with your eyes first. That's what they say. Okay, you lay this out. You lay this all out. Try to cover all the bases. Oh yeah, and the thing that you do with potatoes to keep them from browning, you can set them in water. That's the best thing to do. Keep them from turning black. You can drop a little bit of lemon juice in there. That'll help also. Okay. Back to the onions. I hope everyone likes onions because if you haven't, this is a treat. I can eat onions raw. I have an onion from Washington. It's called a Walla Walla. You can eat it like an apple. It's so delicious. It's so sweet. Dump them all in there. Okay, so now we take the rest of the sauce and we just pour it all over it. Spread it out. Like I said before, you really don't have to be perfect with this because as it cooks, it does its own thing. Okay, so this is ready to go. What I usually like to do before I put it in there, do a little air bubble thing. Get all the bubbles out, let it lay flat. Like doing this. Stick it in the oven for like 45 minutes at 250 to 300, and just let it cook until it's bubbly and brown on top. Pull it out and you're ready to go. or until it's nice and bubbly and brown on top. Oops. And here we are, folks. And there you have it, potatoes au gratin, 6 cheese. Just waiting for somebody to come and destroy it. You have some roasted pork chops, but they haven't been cooked as of yet. They've been brined. They may look like they've been cooked, but they haven't. And what you do is you take 24 ounces of orange juice. Take 24 ounces of orange juice, 24 ounces of pineapple juice, and half a cup of sugar, and a whole cup of what we'd say, you could say either sea salt or either kosher salt. Combine them all in with the liquids. Let them boil with a few twigs of thyme and rosemary and a couple of bay leaves. Let the liquid completely cool down, because if you stick the meat in there, it's going to cook. So once the liquid is cooled down, you sit it in a plastic bag or some sort of drip-proof container, and you let it sit overnight. Some people do for 3-4 hours. You'll get a flavoring. I want flavor. So I do it for 24 hours, and that's what you have here. And you take them out of the pan, out of the package, and you pan fry them on top of the stove in a little olive oil. No flour is needed. This flour just makes a crust and causes a lot of craziness. I guess we can use this pan. Stick. Let that heat up a little bit. Get a little EVOO, which is extra virgin olive oil. Just put a little bit of that in the pan. Let your pan get nice and hot. Most of the time you can tell when your pan is hot. It's just like a barbecue grill. If you can hold your hand over the pan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you're still counting, it's not hot enough. You stick your hand over there for like 8 seconds and you got to move your hand, then your pan is ready. So we're going to let that get a little warm. And we're not going to throw this liquid away. This is very implemental in making the sauce for your pork chops. And we're going to roast these on the stove. How can that be, roasting on top of the stove? We just want to put a little color on them, brown them just a little bit. We don't exactly want to cook them either, because once you take something off the stove, it continues to cook. It's called residual cooking. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these out. The pan is talking to them. All that's saying is there's water in the pan, and when that stops, then the water's all gone. Take these out. And sit. And it doesn't matter that it has a little bit of rosemary on it. Some of the herbs are still there. Basically, that's the flavor. Save this because this is definitely going to be needed. Close that back up so we don't lose any of it. So we go to the pan. Still some water in there, but that's okay. We're going to lay these out flat. I don't know how you want to work that one out there. We're going to jump back over here while that's going. This is your carrots, as I was saying, that are sitting in the cumin, ginger, and coriander. And by heating it up, it's going to absorb the flavor. It doesn't take long, so we can take this off right now. Turn this off. And we're going to strain it. I won't throw all of it away. Save a little bit of it. Man, that smells good. Okay. We'll layer them out. Does it need any more flavoring other than honey? Honey, are you home? Yes. Put a little honey on there. Just a little honey, not much. Just a little. It seems like it's a lot, but it's not. And this is weak honey. It doesn't want to come out. Come on, everybody into the pool. honey. I use 2 different kinds. This is clover honey. Bees, wherever they go, whatever they hang around, that's what the honey's gonna taste like. They hang around dandelions, that's what you're gonna want, not the dandelion honey. Clover honey is pretty popular. Everybody eats it. And that's what you want to do sometimes. Sometimes. To give people something they're familiar with. But I like to surprise people around. There's a little trick that I use. Oh, here we go. And even though this is sweet, you put a little black pepper on it, and it helps stand out. Okay, the carrots should be ready. It's been about 45 minutes. So let's see what we have. Whoa, voila! Not only do they look great, the aroma, I wish that you had smell-o-vision. Oh, great. Look at that. Make you think your mama's in the kitchen. Honey, cumin, carrots. There you have it. Because they're not going to do anything but steam. And that's not what we want. Well, you're scared. Let me do it for you. Let me feed you. Let me be your man for now. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, stick that in the juice.
Thank you.
And go for it. And be honest. Have you ever eaten a pork chop like that before?
Mm-mm.
I know you haven't.
That's really, really good.
Now go for the potatoes.
Okay. Right, I'll swallow this first. It's really good. Oh, really good.
Now your carrot.
I've never had anything like that before.
You won't until I do it again.
That's really good. Now I gotta try the carrots. Oh, it's really sweet. Everything is really good.
Thank you.
No, thank
People
you.
don't think to use carrots. I told a friend that I was making carrots. I bought 4 pounds of carrots. He said, nobody's going to eat that many carrots. I said, they're going to eat my carrots. There were no carrots left at the end of the day. He didn't have any idea how I was going to fix them. And this is my own recipe. It's my tweaking, very avant-garde. I should say I look at myself as being a Renaissance cook, but I'm extremely avant-garde. I like to, tweak everything that I do. So no matter what it is, if you're my girlfriend, I'm going to tweak you. If it's food, I'm going to tweak it.
Well, it's very, very delicious. Thank you very much for your time.
I'm glad you
Thank
enjoyed
you.
it.